Thank you for tuning into Vidiot Entertainment Studios and this first episode of Snap Judgment. This is the show where we play a game for up to a few hours and then we try to break it down within 15 minutes or less to tell you if it's worth your time. Now today's game is Demeo from Resolution Games, and it's available on the Oculus Store for Rift S and Quest, as well as on Steam with added support for Valve Index, HTC Vive, and Windows Mixed Reality, all for the same price of $29.99, no matter which store you purchase from. Now Demeo, it's a VR tabletop dungeon crawler simulation experience like none other I've ever played. It supports 1 to 4 players with modes such as matchmaking, join room, and create a room options that ensure there's many variable ways of finding online multiplayer as quickly as possible, whether with strangers or with friends. Now on the occasion that you can't find someone else to play with, you could even play a solitaire mode and rule set called Skirmish, and that's just like many traditional physical tabletop games come with today. And when playing, you're going to start by selecting a module. As of this day, there are 2 to choose from: the Black Sarcophagus and the Realm of the Rat King. Once you choose your module, you and your party members, you're then going to select from 4 different atypical RPG classes to begin your adventure: the Guardian, Assassin, Hunter, and the Sorcerer. Now in the Skirmish mode, you select your main party member, then the AI fills in the other 2 player characters that you're also going to control through the game. The game is turn-based and it works by using action points. When it's their turn, each player gets 2 action points to spend however they see fit. A move or a basic attack costs 1 action point apiece. Players will also have a hand of cards available to them that grows larger and can have new cards added to it over time through gaining experience, opening treasure chests, and buying cards at the shop in between floors. Now these cards have an associated AP cost at the top of them and are typically one-time use cards. However, some cards have a refresh cooldown and will state the cooldown time in the text, as well as show a refresh symbol at the bottom of the card. Once this cooldown ends, the card does become available for use again on the player's next turn. Play proceeds in a back and forth manner, with the player character party spending all of their action points, and then the AI moving around all of the monsters in the dungeon. The main goal of each floor is to locate the monster holding that floor's key, kill it and claim the key, and then successfully find the exit to the next floor and escape through it. Now player escape can be hampered by enemies being too close by. In that instance, players will have to clear the monsters from the area before they can proceed down a floor. When the player makes it down a level, they are met with Klepto at his bazaar. Here players can purchase new cards or sell old ones that they do not want to have anymore. Players then may carry on to the next floor, and play continues in this manner until the party is either wiped, or until the players make it to the 4th floor and kill the dungeon boss. Now Demeo highly impressed me from the moment I started it up. The graphics are crisp and clean and have a nice colorful pop to them. The detail on the miniatures is impeccable, and while the animations when moving and fighting are excellent, and they do make me reminisce about games of yore such as Battle Chess, it's the subtle details like noticing the figures even have an idle pose that makes them seem as if they are alive yet awaiting your command that really draws attention and shows the extra touch of care put into the animation of this game. Controls, those are effortlessly intuitive. Gripping either grasp button on an Oculus device locks the table to that hand and allows for full 360-degree on-axis movement of the table. That way you've always got the right height or distance that you need to see what's going on. Now if you grip with both grasp buttons, you can now spin the table. That way you can see from all sides as well. Characters, cards, and the die are easily interacted with simply by picking them up with either trigger button and dropping them or tossing them wherever their effect be needed. Information and cards are literally at the flick of a wrist so that they're easy to see and interact with. Now, combat is fantastic. There are some really nice animations and graphical effects, especially when you're realizing this game's fulfilling the what if my D&D minis came to life while playing fantasy that I know many of you out there have had. Sound effects also spectacular, really fitting in with the environments and the attacks being used, as well as sounding authentic. Now, I do have one issue that I'd like to mention: neck fatigue and pain. Now, I can't really blame Demeo for this. This is a simulation tabletop experience, so you will be looking down a lot. Now, you can move the board around or even tilt the screen to help with this, but that kind of viewing may be awkward to some. In my experience with a Rift S, you could definitely notice the added weight from it, coupled with looking downward for an extended period of time. If you have something lighter like, say, a Quest or a Quest 2, that may either alleviate the issue or eliminate it altogether, but I can only assume though. Now, most physical tabletop games of this nature, they could easily cost you well over $29.99. You can find some quality tabletop games of this type for closer to this asking price. Right now, it does have to be said though that Demeo currently only has the 2 modules available. The newest one was free, and I see no sign that they plan on charging for additional modules yet. My speculation is that the community may see an additional 2 free modules, and then they're either going to start releasing paid-for modules, or, now this would be my preferred method, start releasing expansions, much like can be bought for the physical tabletop games. For instance, you pick up a new pack or a box that ends up adding some more new class or 2. That way you've got a new mini or 2 as well. It would add new cards for already owned classes, new monsters and minis for those, new modules to play through. But still, at this time, even though there's the 2 modules, that is 8 total floors of fun that can be easily replayable. I'd also like to mention that this may also either lessen or entirely eliminate your setup and teardown times for your tabletop game night, due to it simply being a digital game. And as fun as the physical games are, I do know some people to whom that part of gaming is more of a chore than enjoyable. So that is another bonus here for Demeo. Now, it's pretty clear that if you love tabletop dungeon crawlers, love VR, and you want something new, and some of your tabletop game night friends also have the equipment to jump in with you, this is a no-brainer. Buy this game right now. Convince your friends it's the second coming. Do whatever you have to do to get them to buy this game and play it with you now. It's that good in my opinion here. Now, what if you've only got 1 or 2 friends that can join you? Still worth it in my opinion. What if you have no friends who can join you, but you don't mind getting matched up with randoms? Then it's still worth it. If you love this type of game and you don't mind having to get matched up with random people, you enjoy meeting new people, boom, do it. It's kind of like a digital tabletop experience, like if you were going to a game night to meet up with people you've never met before and play a game. Check it out. Now, what if let's say you don't have any friends to play with and you don't want to play with randoms? Well, then it's going to be skirmish mode all the way for you there. You're going to be solitaire. And have I had fun with the solitaire experience? Yes. But it's certainly not what I would recommend as the preferred experience for this game. This game is at its best when played with, if you can, a full party, but at least one other friend or more. So if you think that you're mainly just going to be playing this thing solo, doing it solitaire style, then your mileage may vary depending on how much you enjoy playing tabletop games solitaire style. So for me, final rating here on Demeo, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. That's right, an 8 out of 10. This game is fantastic. Again, I was highly impressed with it from the start. If you fit the above criteria I spoke about, go out and get this game now. It's just beautifully put together. Everything feels fantastic. Gives you also that whimsical feeling. due to being a fantastic creation of the representation of what if when I was playing D&D, my minis came to life. It gives you the whimsical Toy Story feeling, absolutely excellent. 8 out of 10, highly recommended. Check down in the links, people, for a link to the developer's website, as well as links to where you can purchase Demeo. Also, be sure to check down in the link for the socials, as well as ways to support us. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and wish you all once again peace, love, and happiness to all. Thank you for tuning in to Vidiot Entertainment Studios. Hey everybody, Hajiel here with Vidiot Entertainment Studios. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and watching our video today. If you haven't already, please go ahead, click at the bottom here to go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you also hit that bell so you get the notifications. Also be sure to go ahead and like, comment, and share our video. If you want to check out some further content, go ahead and click at the bottom as well to check out a random video, or follow our links above or find down in the comments to seek out more of our content, as well as places where you can get a hold of us. In the meantime, until next video, peace, love, and happiness to all.